The Mistress here with another short story. The Puppet Boy, written by Mr. Dropek 101. Ever since I was a child, I have loved playing with puppets. The feeling of total control over their limp bodies gave me happiness unlike anything else. I could make them run, jump, or even dance. My parents were delighted to provide me with new puppets every Christmas, happy that they could provide joy for their child so easily. You could call it an obsession, I suppose. As the years went on, my obsession never faltered, much to the dismay of my parents, who had grown tired of buying me puppets year after year. They wanted to give me toys and games, bicycles and footballs, like all the other parents with boys do. But I refused. I was always content with puppets. In elementary school, I drew pictures of puppets in art class, and whenever the teacher asked us to write a fictional story, mine were always about puppets. I could tell the school was concerned as much as my parents, but I couldn't fathom why. What was so wrong about drawing and writing about your interests? I was even further baffled when I was lectured in middle school for writing an essay on the history of puppets. They asked us to write about what we were passionate about. My parents took me to various therapists, all who failed at solving the mystery of why I was obsessed with puppets, and failed further when they tried to halt it. By the time our meetings were over, they would have a look in their eyes like they were suddenly very aware that they were sitting only a few feet from me. I scared them somehow. I didn't want to scare them. I wanted to play with my puppets in peace. I became resentful towards the world throughout the rest of middle school. People whispered behind my back, "The Puppet Boy," I would hear, "Freak." By the time I entered high school, I was convinced the world was against me. My father gradually began to avoid me, and then he began to hate me. He screamed at me daily to stop playing with toys. He burned my puppets. I made new ones. Nobody knew where their newborns had gone. Sometimes I considered hanging myself with my puppet strings back home. My life is nothing but a sad story that nobody would care to read. A boy, still playing with toys as a teen, hated because of his interests. At least it's my last year in school. I've decided to make it special. My father burned my puppets again, so I'm going to make new ones. They were so peaceful that night, under the covers. They didn't hear me enter, didn't see me standing at the foot of their bed. Sewing the string on was an easy task. My needle slid through their limbs smoothly. After hanging them off the ceiling, I played with my new puppets all night, with the quiet patter of blood falling on the carpet around me. Thanks, everyone. If you like these short stories, check out my playlist. Have a good night. Love, the Mistress.